The Pro Bowlers Tour makes a return visit to Dallas, Texas in the Don Carter PBA Classic. It's the third of 8 nationally televised events here on ESPN, and the Young Guns have surfaced here in '99. Jason Hurd seated 5th for the show today, won earlier this year, teaming up with Johnny Petraglia to win in Reno. The first 2 tournaments produced 2 new champions. Dave Wodka from Las Vegas will try to make it 3 in a row, but they'll have to go through a very determined Mike Miller on top. It's bowling from Big D on ESPN. Next. And it's nice to be back in the Lone Star State, of course, home to the Cowboys. They've made several Super Bowl appearances, and today fans will be treated to some Super Bowling from Don Carter's All-Star Lanes West. Hi, everyone. I'm Phil Ferguson, along with my partner, Marshall Holman, and welcome to the big show. An exciting finals field of 5 we have for you this afternoon. Our leader, he's won 2 titles, including the prestigious PBA National Championship, Mike Miller. In that number 2 spot, making his 6th TV appearance in search of his first win, Dave Wodka. Qualifying number 3, the lone lefty in the field. He's won 5 PBA championships, Jason Couch. And in our opening match, it's youth taking on experience, 23-year-old Jason Hurd going up against veteran Roger Bowker. And Marshall talked to Bowker and how he's become a more versatile player out here on the PBA Tour.
Well, basically, Marshall, as the old school comes in when I bowled on locker and stuff. When they get a little tougher, you change hand positions and you try to make shots out of nothing. And I have a little edge that way, so when the oil starts moving around on the lanes under the lights and stuff, I might have a little bit of an edge there.
And we'll have to wait and see, won't we, Marshall? But Roger Bowker, he's won a couple of titles, and going up against the young kid out here, Jason Hurd, just a couple of weeks ago, bowled very well. Cool, calm, and collected.
He certainly comes off as being very, very relaxed bowling on television, although we know he's nervous. But if it becomes a striking contest between Jason Hurd and Roger Bowker, Jason Hurd's your winner. He can strike all day. And a fine start for the power right-hander.
So Bowker will try and answer here in the opening frame. Nice to have you by. A little bit later on today, of course, it's the Super Bowl. And we'll talk about our picks a little bit later on.
All right.
And he strikes a little bit different style.
Well, totally different between Jason Hurd and Roger Bowker. Jason's got the big, powerful wrist. He really hooks the ball. And Bowker, he throws the ball a little more old school. Throws the ball much, much more direct, straight down the lane. Doesn't go for the power with his wrist. He lets the ball and the angle produce the power. Both starting out with strikes.
Outside, bringing it back and kicks out the 10-pin. So a double for Bowker. Bowker's been out here 23 years. Jason Hurd is 23.
Certainly that would say experience all Roger Bowker, but so far bowling on a nationally televised bowling tournament, Jason Hurd thrown a lot of strikes and with a lot of success.
Oh my. A lot of power on that shot from Jason Hurd, so all we have is strikes here in the opening match, and Hurd has averaged 234 on this TV pair.
Ball coming right at you, and there she goes. Flush in the pocket, and a nice double for Jason Hurd. You know, Jason's made more money in his first 2 events, the first 2 weeks of 1999, than he made in all of 1998. Here he is with a chance to win again, so a very good start for this power righty.
Make it 3 in a row for Jason Hurd. Hurd told me that he's gained a lot of confidence, and certainly making match play finals after match play finals will do that for you. Last year, of course, a rookie out here, and he's gotten acclimated quickly.
Well, he's feeling a little more comfortable, you know, with each week that he bowls. Well, that's 3 for Bowker and 3 for Hurd.
And just keep in mind, a little extra money should a bowler toss a 300 game, $10,000 courtesy of the PBA, and I know it's early, but these guys are in the pocket every shot.
And the lanes this week, a little more oil. The oil was taken down 51 feet, so the lanes are tighter, as we say. The ball won't hook quite as much. They're certainly getting it done with the strikes.
Bowker.
And a soft 10 pin for Roger Bowker. So the string ends at 3 for Roger. Jason's still perfect after 3 frames, and that gives Hurd a 1-pin lead.
Converts the 10 pin, so Roger Bowker is down now in the opening match, but an exciting one. So come on back. And Jason Hurd will step up now in the 4th frame, and he has the first 3 strikes out the gate.
And Jason's using a different ball for each lane. On lane 46, he's using, it's the same ball, but it's a different drilling. A little weaker drill. This ball will go a little bit straighter, a little softer on 46. We'll see if he can get that 4th one in a row, and he does.
Well, it's certainly the mark of a true professional when you can alter your game a little bit to fit the lane conditions.
He's done that, and I tell you, at 23 years old, I'm surprised he has the savvy to make that decision. Here he goes with the other ball on lane 45. This ball will tip a little harder back into the pocket, a little stronger finish. So far, perfect on both lanes, 4 in a row with an 11-pin lead.
Bowker looks on. Threw a lot of strikes a couple of weeks ago when he won with Johnny Petraglia in Reno. Oh, as stubborn as my 7-year-old in the candy shop. And that's stubborn.
I'll have to take your word on that. Well, for Jason Hurd, 4 in a row was all it was going to be. The soft 10, very similar to what Bowker left on that same lane. Disappointed. Needs to relax, make this spare, maintain that lead. It's a 10-pin lead for Jason Hurd.
Bowker up in the 5th frame. He's averaged 222 on this television pair. Bowled 3 games. Hit. Oh, come on. Sounded like you said hit ball, and is that at the end of the lane, Marshall?
Yeah, he knew the ball was thrown properly. The ball was going to be in the pocket flush, but would it strike? Here's your answer. Chance to tie the match with a strike here in the 6th frame. As I've said earlier, 2 very distinctively different styles. Bowker, very straight, pulls the ball a little bit toward the pocket. Jason Hurd, he swings it out for the tie.
Beautiful shot by Roger Bowker, who has 21 PBA regional titles and 33 second-place finishes.
Well, he bowls a lot. When he's not bowling on national tour, he likes to bowl regionals. There's a profile view of Roger Bowker, shoulder high backswing, pulls the ball just a little bit off balance, but he needs that to get the ball going a little left. Now Jason Hurd on 46, solid 10-pin.
So Hurd now with back-to-back 10 pins, and he trails in the match. So Bowker up by 1. Different ball for that spare.
Goes with a ball with less friction. Boy, you just don't see any nerves at all, and yet I know that he's still not completely comfortable, you know, being in the spotlight. He'd rather sort of, you know, be in the background.
I remember Johnny Petraglia a couple of weeks ago when they won in Reno said you're going to see a lot of this Jason Hurd, and we're seeing a lot of him quickly. A couple weeks later, another TV finals. He lost to Bowker in match play, in the match play portion of this tournament, 277 to 202. So Bowker shot a big number at him the first time.
I doubt either one of them are thinking of that right now. That's all ancient history. For Jason Hurd, time to get it going once again. Don't want to give Roger too much of a break early. And there's the the 2, the 4, and the 10 pin. That ball went further down the lane, did not make the break back into the 1-3 pocket, and now he leaves himself a very difficult split. Certainly can be made. Watch the ball as it slides. Doesn't get up to enough of the head pin, catches a little of it, but the 2-4-10 can be made, but a difficult split.
Trying to send it over, not able to do it, so a little bit of an opening for Roger Bowker as we continue here in match 1. And you can see as he tried to slide it over, not able to do it. So it's Bowker and Hurd going at it in Dallas.
I think Elway, two in a row. 2 in a row for Elway.
Well, that's why I'm rooting for Atlanta. He did it to Cleveland several times. We have an exciting opening match here. Bowker going up against Jason Hurd. Bowker trying to make it 3 in a row.
Well, he'll go a long way to winning this match with a strike here to go up by 25 pins.
It's Bowker's first PBA appearance in almost a year, but it doesn't seem rusty.
Well, I guess that 23 years of experience paying off for him right now.
Once again, Jason Hurd was 8 months old when Roger Bowker bowled his first PBA tournament. But Bowker taking a kid here early.
Bowker working at a 279 pace if he were to strike out.
Boy, he's throwing some nice shots. Started off with a 3-bagger, left a 10 pin, and has come back now with 4 in a row.
This is right where you want to be. Anytime you can throw the ball, land it right in that area. I don't care if it's hooking or going straight. You're going to strike. Jason Hurd really needs to get it going. 244, the best he can do. He does strike in the 8th frame. Now set himself up in the 9th. At least he'll force Roger Bowker to show up.
Hurd having some fun. Bowker stoic looking, sitting, waiting his turn. Knows that he's got the upper hand to this point. 9th frame, Jason Hurd.
Delaney came in light on, and it's a solid 10. A tough break for Jason. That's all you can do, young man. Make a good shot. In a clutch situation, unfortunately, the 10 pin was not going to fall over this time.
Hurd, a power player, very consistent to start 1999. He and Brian Goebel, the only players out here to make match play, the top 24 in all 3 events.
Make the spare, you never know. He'll need help, will Hurd, if he's to win this match. Roger Bowker just needs to get a couple of marks, and game would be over. He's working right now at a 249 pace. With spares in the 9th and 10th. How about it with a strike there, and might as well just throw 3 more for 279, Roger.
Beautiful game. Jason Hurd can still shoot 224, but that's going to hurt his TV average. He was averaging 246.
Roger Bowker, perfection. Well, Roger, you need 2 pins. Can you do it? There's your winner.
Scatters a little emotion from Roger Bowker towards the end of the match, and it's going to be Bowker taking on Jason Couch in our next match, the lone lefty in the finals field of 5. But boy, he is throwing the ball awfully well.
Well, he is, and for Jason, certainly nothing to feel bad about. He made 1 errant shot, left the 2, 4, 10, the 7th frame. Other than that, all strikes and 10 pins. For this man, he's getting ready for the next match, and he could be very, very tough today. He'll be in the 270s.
Well, he's got both lanes locked at this point. Once again, so far, the only shot that he did not strike was in the 4th frame. He left a 10 pin.
Well, our statistician, Butch Soper, said all Roger had to do was pretend he was bowling him. Butch, it looks like he's out there drumming you usual.
Well, that's right, because Roger defeated Butch Soper 228 to 208 to win the 92 Columbia 300 Open, where Bowker led. He then defeated Soper in the Columbia 300 Open in 98. Now that score was 279 to 258. And he shoots 279 to win here.
And Jason Hurd with another 10-pin, but I'll tell you, Phil, a good-looking young player, someone who is certainly going to be reckoned with in weeks to come and years to come. Won his first title a couple of weeks ago. Took a week off from our telecast last week in Albuquerque, but he's right back here again this week. It'll be a 5th place finish, and 213 will be the best he can do. But you've got to feel good for this young man's start in 1999.
Jason Couch, strike. And that would make it 213. So a nice game for Jason Hurd. I said Jason Couch thinking ahead a little bit, but it will be Jason Couch going up against Roger Bowker in our second match here in Dallas. You know, it is Super Sunday. Atlanta Falcons getting ready to take on the Denver Broncos. Oh, there's a nice shot of Texas Stadium. You know, everybody has their own opinions on who's going to win the big game, and we went to our experts, the 5 players, and got their feelings on the game tonight.
This is Denver, but I always root for the underdog, so I'm going to pick Atlanta.
Preferably Atlanta, hopefully.
Chicago Bears all the way.
Atlanta. I like the underdog. They're going to play well, and just like me, I'm in the number 3 seed. I'm not expected to win in that position unless I get it going. I like the Falcons and meet.
My gut says Denver, but it's hard to say with Atlanta. They got a lot of intangibles that you know, those games are weird. It's like a bowling and 1-game match. You know, you never know what's going to happen. So if they both bring their games to the show and they both play their best, it's Denver. But you know, if Denver makes a few mistakes, it's Atlanta.
Either way, from Mike Miller. What do you think, Marsh?
I don't know. I'm trying to think what Roger Bowker was thinking. The Bears, are they playing? I don't think so. I like Denver.
All right. Well, I'm a big Browns fan, so I got to go with Atlanta.
Oh, yeah.
We'll be back with our second match. Bowker taking on Couch in a minute. And we're at Don Carter All-Star Lanes here in Dallas, the Don Carter PBA Classic. Hi, everyone. I'm Phil Ferguson, along with my broadcast partner, Marshall Holman. There's match 1. Boy, a lot of strikes from Roger Bowker, 279 to 213 over young Jason Hurd. And, Marshall, now you have Bowker. A lot of strikes. Got a tough match coming up, and Jason Couch.
Well, he does, but Roger Bowker's got that little bit of a trick shot. He's the one right-hander in our field that can throw the ball extraordinarily straight. So could be very difficult for the rest of our competitors.
And, of course, the guy on top, Mike Miller, interesting. He seemed very focused last night when we talked to him.
Well, Mike's become a little more comfortable. You know, he made the telecast at the Tournament of Champions last fall, and he led this one. He's feeling very good about the way he's bowling, but not only will they have to take on Mike Miller, but David Wodka, our number 2 seed, could be very, very difficult, and the number 3 seed, Jason Couch. Now, he's a 5-time PBA champion. Every time he's won from the number 1 position. Can he win from the number 3 position? That's what we've got to find out. I asked him yesterday exactly what his strategy might be coming out for this match.
I'm coming out of the gate first frame. I'm on a full tilt. I'm going to let it rip because I've been in the number 1 or 2 position until you know, the last couple of games, and got down to number 3, but that's the lowest I've been all week, and I've been 100% aggressive the whole week. And why change? I mean, I believe I'm the high average of the tournament, so why change? Just get aggressive and let it go.
And he can get it going, too. And he's right. He had the high average of the tournament. However, Mike Miller, in match play, you get bonus pins, won a few more games.
Mike Miller won a lot more games. Miller won 20 1/2 games, and I believe for Jason, he just won, I think, 9 maybe. So certainly the edge was bonus pins for Miller, but right now it's Jason Couch with the bucket. Tough way to start on lane 45. He's got the 3, the 5, the 6, and the 9.
Kind of a wry smile from Couch.
A little sarcastic smile from Jason Couch as he's probably thinking to himself as he leaves that bucket, well, that's a nice way to start.
Is this the most difficult spare to pick up in bowling?
It's one of the most difficult spares, and the reason is because there's so many ways to miss it. Will he find one of the ways to make it? Comes in light once again, leaving the 6 pin, and it's 9 pins to start out the opening frame for Jason Couch. And Roger Bowker, after throwing 11 strikes for 279 in the previous game, gotta like his chances. Watch as the ball just does not get far enough up onto the 3 pin. 3 pin goes around the 6, and it's a gift for this man, Roger Bowker.
strike. The advantage maybe to Bowker because he can play the lanes a little bit tighter, go straight. Maybe not the difference with the ball reaction.
Well, I think it's obvious the advantage goes to the man who just shot 279. You see a great reaction from Roger Bowker.
But over 4 games, that game can hold up.
I would think so. I don't think that he's going to really be moving the oil around too much where he's playing the lanes, and the other guys are all playing deeper inside of him on the right-hand side, so should hold up. Solid 4 for Roger Bowker.
And does it help him bowling against a left-hander?
Well, the left-hander certainly isn't going to affect Roger's side of the lane, and Roger isn't going to be messing with Jason's side of the lane, so there is no effect.
Able to convert the single pin spare. This year on television, players have made every single pin spare. Can't miss those and be here. So Jason Couch now in the second frame.
And Jason, a power player on the left-hand side, really just smashes the ball into the 5-pin, sends it. Watch the 5-pin as it goes to the right and takes care of the other pins. Solid reaction from a great shot.
18 games of qualifying this week, and Couch averaged 243 to set him up for match play. Now on the telecast as our number 3 qualifier.
And he makes the adjustment on lane 45. Backed off on the speed a little bit. Ball was able to hook back into the 1-2 pocket, takes care of all the pins, and it's now a 1-pin advantage for Roger Bowker, who for the first time came in a little high in the second frame, leaving the 4-pin.
Bowker now 13-6 on television with a better than 230 average.
Bowker back to his old tricks of taking care of all 10 with one ball.
We'll be in Austin next week, and Bowker will defend his title.
I asked him if he was just getting himself warmed up to make it. I think it would be 3 in a row in Austin if he could win next week.
4th frame for Bowker as the early 1-pin advantage. Make it a double. Bowker looks very strong here early going in the Don Carter Classic. And we'll be back with more of this second match coming up in just a minute. 1999 is going to be a great year, a year to remember. Attend the PBA University. Programs for adults and youths are now forming. For more information, contact the PBA at 330 area code 836-5568. Couch up in the 4th, working on a double.
And there is one of the bad breaks, a power player. Generally, the power players get the pocket 7-10. Take a look at the 5-pin. We'll go behind the 10-pin. And look at the reaction, almost like, what do you have to do? Not able to knock it out of the back. It'll be an open frame for Jason Couch. He falls to 65 in the 4th frame.
Well, for Couch, best finish this year, 34th in Albuquerque a week ago. Coming into this tournament, averaging 235 on this TV pair.
And Jason's been the most consistent bowler throughout the tournament this week. His lowest average per round was 228. There's a strike on 45, and what could have been, if the 7 and 10 would have cooperated on 46, would have been a very close match, but it's 25 pins in favor of Roger Bowker.
Bowker told me throughout the week his hand position was on the side of the ball, and then towards the end of last night's round it went underneath a little bit. That looks like where he is right now.
Well, he's going for more power out of his game. And there's the vice commissioner, the assistant commissioner, Kevin Shippey. Nice to have him around this week.
Watching all the action. Bowker now with 3 in a row. He is up by 35 and once again taking command.
Staying underneath the ball longer. Got a whole pocket. That one was high, and he knew it. Kind of reminds me of Michael Jordan shooting those three-pointers a few years ago, looking up in the crowd going, gosh, what did I do?
4 in a row for Bowker, and now up by 45.
For Jason Couch, imperative.
All right. On one.
Well, it's not going to be a lot of fun for Jason Couch right now. Roger Bowker with 4 in a row. Jason Couch with a couple of opens already.
Couch has won 5 PBA titles, including last year's Showboat Invitational in Las Vegas. Beat Atlanta Monticelli as he picks up the spare.
Well, you heard Jason say he wanted to come out firing and really be aggressive, and unfortunately the open in the first frame and then the bad break in the 4th frame, and really puts himself in a very, very difficult position, trailing by 45 pins. However, it's not done yet. We still have the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th to bowl, and hang in there, Jason. Maybe something on the strange side will happen to Roger Bowker.
Another bucket for Couch.
Well, let's see if we get close on this one.
He left the bucket in the first frame and wasn't able to convert, so.
Didn't get enough of the 3-pin in the opening frame to make this spare. Will he make an adjustment? And of course, typical, he chops this one. So for Jason Couch, nothing going right. A great day for Roger Bowker. Roger, I'd be smiling too if I was you, and we'll be right back.
Roger Bowker here for the first match and a half, and he is up now in the 7th frame.
Roger not going to get ahead of himself, stay in the moment, do battle this game. It looks like he'll be going to the next one, but he'll take care of that later. The experienced player, and from the shoulders up, he's as good as anybody we have on today's telecast. Not to make it sound like he doesn't have game. He does, but it's a straight one.
Bowker, 8th frame.
Stop with that.
What do you have to do anyway?
He leads by 70, probably, or 69 right now, so he's probably happy to leave the 10-pin now. Looks like, again, he's going to win a match and move on, but a couple frames to go.
He'll lower his average for today. He could have, but would have struck there and taken it all the way out. He could have shot 280 to go with that nice 279, but I think Roger will be very, very pleased with 240, 250, 260, somewhere in there.
First tournament of the year for Bowker last year, averaged nearly 214, over 430 games, all on the national circuit. Jason Couch up in the 8th.
Well, Jason, I believe, switched balls. That ball hooked immediately off his hand. Really had no chance. And for Jason, this is a game that, if it could have ended a few minutes ago, would have probably been just all right with him. It's a long game when you're struggling, folks. Believe me.
Couch, former Rookie of the Year, won 5 titles. All 5 of those titles from the #1 spot.
He is yet to win from any spot but #1, and I don't really think that's a big factor. I just can't see him coming into a telecast seated 2, 3, 4, or 5 and thinking, well, gosh, I have no chance. I mean, he's a very positive player, certainly a very talented player who's not showing off his A game right now. In fact, he's using his B, maybe his C and D game.
So a bit of a struggle for Couch here this afternoon.
Watch as this ball just cuts right through the 1 and the 4, leaving a mess. I don't think he really is all that interested right now. But this man is interested.
And up next, Dave Wodka. Wodka looking for his first title. We started off this year with 2 some new winners. See if we can keep that streak going.
Very important for Roger Bowker to stay in charge mentally, Phil. You know, he's got the lanes wired, but it's important he has to bowl one more match in order to get himself into that title possible match. So mentally, this is where he's challenged right now. That certainly Jason has pretty much laid down and played dead, but Roger needs to keep on keeping on, get ready for the next match against David Wodka. Here she goes. There she goes. Well, when you're hot, Phil. Watch the head pin off the sideboard. Bang. See a 10 pin. That's a messenger. Oh, yeah. And that's a fun shot to throw, isn't it, Roger? Another one? Oh, yeah. Why not?
Big first game, and he's going to go 250 plus in this game.
Yeah, but he's 20 pins worse than the last game, Phil. I mean, you know, he's slipping.
Roger Bowker, 23 years out on tour, 5 national titles, but 21 regional championships. And big strike, and that's 259. Throwing a lot of those strikes this afternoon. So Roger Bowker is going to move on into our semifinal match, and he will take on Dave Wodka. Wodka looking for his first PBA title. Roger Bowker, impressive. Another big win, 259 to 144 over Jason Count. So Bowker will move on into our semifinal match, take on Dave Wodka. Next week, ESPN's coverage of the Pro Bowlers Tour continues from Austin, Texas, as Roger Bowker goes for an unprecedented 3rd Columbia 300 title. The following Sunday, the PBA celebrates Valentine's Day with its inaugural stop in Chattanooga. And Saturday, February 20th, it's the first arena final of 1999 from the Civic Center in Erie, Pennsylvania. Always a lot of fun with a PBA arena final. Now here's another Score More with Brunswick tip. This week, Marshall Holman talks about building the proper arsenal.
Today's Super Bowl gives you 2 choices. It's either the Falcons or the Broncos. But when buying a new bowling ball, you have many choices to make. And that can be a little confusing for the consumer, but it really shouldn't be. Your Pro Shop operator knows all about the new technology, both proactive and reactive. And that expertise can certainly help you the next time you're looking for a bowling ball. You must also remember that the ball is only a tool and responds to the factors and forces imposed on it, such as lane conditions, lift, and the speed the ball is thrown. For the early morning rounds, I like the proactive ball. It works best for my particular kind of game, but there are many other choices that you can go to. Now remember to get together with your Pro Shop operator. Between the 2 of you, you'll be able to figure out what ball will work best for you. You've heard me in recent telecasts talk about pros who have drilled 4, 5, maybe even 6 bowling balls during a week. It's imperative for them to have a complete arsenal to be able to attack the lanes and get the most out of their game. Now at the amateur level, I'm not saying go out and buy 6 or 7 bowling balls, but it's important to have 2 or 3 or 4 good pieces of equipment, a ball that'll hook, a ball that'll go straighter, something that'll help you to compete at the level you're striving for. And remember, I'm looking forward to hearing your suggestions for future tips, and I can be reached via the PBA's internet site at www.pbatour.com, and then I'll be able to help you score more with Brunswick.
Coming up next, it's our semifinal match. Match 3 coming up in a minute, but first let's head to Marshall Holman. Marshall's kind of gone to the dogs. Marsh?
Well, thanks a lot, Phil. I'm here with our tournament leader, Mike Miller. And Mike, I watched you in practice. You look really good, very consistent all through the tournament. Roger Bowker right now, he's looking kind of scary. Who do you think could be coming up next?
Well, obviously Roger's got the upper hand right now, but you know the lanes change, and with the lights on them like that, it could change a lot in a hurry. So I'm looking forward to it changing in my favor.
All right, now I know that your wife Jody Ann and your son Chris, they travel with you week in and week out, but there's a little more to your family than just your son and your wife.
Yeah, I think what you're talking about there is that we have 3 dogs with us, and First one is Max, and then I have Spooky, and Sammy is the puppy. And although he's the puppy, he's the biggest one. He's the most rambunctious. He's a lot of trouble, but I love them, and they're part of the whole deal. And if I didn't have them with me, it sure would be something that I'd miss.
All right, Mike. I think you can do it. I've watched you bowl a lot. You made the telecast a couple months ago for the Tournament of Champions, had a rough go, but feeling more comfortable, aren't you?
Well, yeah, I surely am, because at the TSC, it had been a year and a half since I made a show, and I was really uptight because it was our biggest tournament of the year, but this one feels a lot more relaxed to me, because even though it's a very prestigious thing to win a PBA tournament, it's not like the TSC was.
All right, thanks a lot. Good luck, Mike. Phil, back up to you.
All right, thanks a lot. We're ready for the semifinal match, and Roger Bowker has struck it rich here in the first 2 games. A lot of strikes. 279 the opener, 259. Bowker will start the semifinal match against Dave Wodka. Wodka looking for his first PBA championship. On lane 45, and he strikes. Now that's Bowker's bad lane. Now he's 12 for 15 on that lane. On lane 46, 10 for 10 as far as getting strikes. Beautiful looking shot by Bowker.
Yeah, Roger, just the same as when we left. Another strike and some enthusiasm from Roger Bowker. Oh, our first look at David Wodka, and an exceptionally talented young player, 27 years old, from Las Vegas. Week 10, but actually doesn't feel too bad about that shot. Got the ball in the pocket, didn't get off his hand as clean as he would like. It's maybe stuck just a little bit on his hand.
Wodka, 7 years as a touring pro. Averaged 220, 3 games on this television pair this week.
And boy, now there's something that really has plagued Wodka throughout his career, although has been a much better spare shooter in recent years. We'll watch the ball just pulled, never got far enough over to the right. 10-pin left, 10-pin still left.
Second frame. Able to mix him up a little bit. So Wodka comes back after that open in the first frame with a strike. And if Wodka wins today, it'll be the first time for a few years since 1992 that there were at least 3 back-to-back new PBA champions. So changing of the guard.
Well, going to be tough for him as Roger Bowker on lane 46, Phil. 10 shots thrown, 10 strikes. Going for 11 out of 11. He's done it. Now, he's been having trouble on lane 45. He's only 11 for 14.
Bowker has thrown a lot of strikes this afternoon. Mike Miller is our tournament leader. And Bowker has made his way up the ladder in third frame.
To extend to a 31-pin lead. Hello, 10 in the pit. Nice to see you again.
That is pure.
Very familiar spot for Roger Bowker. And now, even though only our third frame, very important for Dave Wodka to show some striking power of his own. He does. Wodka flush in the pocket, 10-pin, the last one to fall. And very, very happy to have that one. That's right. Come on, let's get him going.
Wodka struggled on TV, 2-5 with an average of just 183 in 5 appearances. He finds himself down 21 to Bowker.
He's got to stop hooking. Oh, look at that ball hold pocket. That was left of his on the target, but it was perfect at 60 feet.
Boy, he's come back after missing in the first frame, missing a 10-pin.
That ball was 3 boards left of his target, Phil, but it's right on target when it got down to the pins.
Bowker, 3 strikes to open the semifinal match.
Hasn't missed on his right-hand lane, will he? A solid 9.
That's unfair.
Well, it's something that's usually relegated for the power player. Roger Bowker is a finesse player, but with the strength of these bowling balls nowadays, even the players that go straight can leave the solid nines. Watch the ball. It's just going to go right in front of that 9-pin. No help.
Able to pick it up. Bowker leads by 10 early on here in the semifinal match.
And Dave Wodka, is right back in this match. Looked like he was just sort of handing it to Roger after the first frame was over, but very competitive.
Another strike for Bowker, who will defend his title next week in Austin at the Columbia 300 Open. And Wodka 3 in a row after that open in the first frame.
And the chant is on.
Fans have been great all week long.
For the Tides. I first met Dave Wodka back in the 70s in Pro-Am in Connecticut. I believe I was full grown, but Dave Wodka was only about 5 years old. He throws it better now.
Oh, they're chanting. This match is even. Oh, he's got it going now. 5 in a row. And Bowker is now down by 10. Bowker with 3 strikes and a spare and another strike, and he finds himself down 10 pins here in this semifinal match. An exciting one. Wodka battling Bowker here in Dallas. And Roger Bowker has been red hot, Marshall. I can't remember the last time no players won 4 matches to win a championship.
Well, Dennis Horan did it in the 1998 Tournament Players Championship. Went for the number 4 seed to win all 4. Just the way this man is trying to do today. Finds himself down by 10 pins. Unfamiliar position. He's been beating his opponents with shots like that all day.
Beating the pocket. This match all even through 6.
This is where he's been living all day. He wants to continue that coming up here in the 7th frame. And I still like Bowker's chances of winning this match, even though it's even. And Wodka's made a strong charge with 5 in a row. The momentum still with Roger Bowker. And with that said, a solid 10. Falls to a 1-pin deficit. And a great opportunity for David Wodka coming up. He returns to the lanes in the 7th frame.
He's just thrown great shot after great shot.
Great spare shooter, Roger Bowker.
Now Dave Wodka, non-winner, so a win would qualify him for this year's Brunswick World Tournament of Champions. There you see the score.
And not a bigger shot this young man has ever thrown than right here. He knows the moment. He knows he has a chance to extend his lead. The same solid 10 that Roger Bowker left now faces Wodka. The difference being Wodka left the 10 pin in the first frame and never got his ball to touch it when he went for the spare. So concentration, it's an easy spare, should be able to handle it.
All right, Marshall, this game all even, 148 through 6. Both players have spares. Advantage, you go to the experienced player in Bowker?
Well, I still think there's a slight edge to Bowker, but boy, Wodka's really shown himself very, very competitive in this match. It's nice to see. Here we are in the 7th frame. We got 148 in the 6th with a spare up for both of these players. Good to see a nice, close, tight, competitive match. That's the way I like to see him.
8th frame.
Put the pressure on Bowker. There it is, and that is nothing but power.
Oh, he sent them all over to the 7 pin, and strike in the 8th, putting the heat back on Bowker.
And if you think Roger Bowker is an accurate player, well, he's hit the pocket 31 for 31. And look at that. That's David Wodka, and that's power, and that's fun. That's 32 for 32 in the pocket for Roger Bowker.
I thought I saw 9-pin stand there just a hair.
Made just a little bit of an adjustment to make sure that wouldn't happen again. Roger Bowker, deliberate style, doesn't slide much. His ball sure strikes a lot. And there, you're right, Phil. That 9-pin was the last one to fall over.
Match all even, 9th frame.
Ten-pin fell over that time. A 10-pin lead for Roger Bowker. And Phil, if they keep striking and we end up in a tie, it's a one-shot roll-off. Just one ball. And if they tie, they just keep on going until one throws more than the other.
It used to be, what, 9th and 10th frame style.
Right, well, we're into getting things, you know, situated quickly now.
One ball. If they tie.
Wodka showing a lot of composure.
Certainly PBA competition at its finest here. Both players, should they strike out 258. His first ball in the 10th frame, critical.
Dave Wodka taking a re-rack on the left-hand lane in what could be the pins off spot a little bit, or maybe this young man just wanted a little time to regain his composure. If he were to strike out, he is certainly your favorite. There's one of them.
And he told me last night in a comfort zone this year, and he's sure looks right now.
Well, for a player who's had problems bowling on nationally televised tournaments, the 10-pin goes at the last. He's not having any problem right now, and certainly put that first frame out of his mind. And that's, you know, you have to live in the now and the future. You can't dwell upon what's happened in the past. To take it to a 20-pin lead. This one right here in the 11th.
Oh, 7-pin went down at the end, but a big double for Wodka in the 10th.
Boy, Roger sure looks scared, doesn't he? This ball a little bit high. 7-pin just barely falling. Boy, a very, very pleased Wodka and a very sedate Roger Bowker.
That's why he's had a nice career out here on tour.
With a strike here, the best that Bowker can do is tie him. What a great finish for David Wodka.
So Bowker needs all three to send it to just that one-ball roll-off. And that's pressure, but this is pressure.
And Bowker has only missed striking on this lane one time. It was in the 7th frame when he left the solid 9. Needs 3 strikes. And a solid 8. Oh my God, what a shot. What a great shot. And there's your winner.
Dave Wodka. Roger Bowker, unbelievable, did not miss the pocket all day long.
Roger Bowker, he's finishing up the game and could not have done anything more than that. He knows he made the great shot. Take a look at the 5-pin. It's going to go straight back. Does not touch the 8-pin. And Roger's bold enough to know there's nothing you can do about that. He threw the ball exactly where he wanted it. Wodka wasn't even watching, Phil, but he did happen to peek up to see, uh-oh, look at that. I won this match.
Dave Wodka in search of his very first PBA championship. He will get an opportunity to do that against Mike Miller, who's already won a couple of PBA titles. It'll be Wodka and Miller coming up in just a minute. A lot of strikes here this afternoon. Roger Bowker, big 279 in that opening game, defeats Jason Hurd, moves on. He shot 259 in the second game and took care of Jason Couch. And then in our semifinal match, Dave Wodka took care of Bowker 258 to 237. But Bowker 775 series, and he will not be bowling in the championship match. Marshall, you have a look at some of the other finishers in the top 24.
Walter Ray Williams Jr. just misses. He finished 6th. Robert Smith, he's the number 7 finisher. He was the runner-up to the 98 PBA Rookie of the Year. Brian Himmler, he won his first title in Albuquerque, New Mexico just last week. Brian Smith made a great showing. And Chris Barnes, he was the 2nd place finisher last week. Justin Romick, former U.S. Open champion. Rudy Kazimakis, he made his 2nd match play appearance in 3 weeks. Tim Chris, the owner of 4 PBA titles, finishing 13th. Dave Traver bowling well again. Bobler Jr., Mr. 300. He finished 15th. The TSC champion, Brian Goebel, was 17th. Stony Pride makes his first match play appearance. John Mazza, the proprietor of Bay Lanes, where we bowl. He has 8 titles. He finished 18th. David Ozio, PBA Hall of Famer. Ron Morton, a 2nd-year pro, making a 2nd consecutive match play appearance. Ron Williams made a little cameo appearance this week. He's not bowling on our tour any longer. Michael Gaither, a rookie, bowling well this week. Mitchell Beasley, his first match play appearance. And Rick Lawrence, he finished 24th, also his first match play appearance of the year. Our alternate, Jeff Zaffino.
So Dave Wodka will take on our tournament leader, Mike Miller, here in the championship match at this beautiful facility, Don Carter's All-Star Lanes West. This particular center completed a nearly $2 million renovation just prior to the arrival of the pros this week. It's beautiful.
They've done a great job. They started right around, I think, Thanksgiving. They didn't waste any time getting it done, and this man here doesn't want to waste any time getting started against Dave Wodka. This is Mike Miller, the thumbless one. And a strike to start out the match. His wife, Jody Ann, watching and liking what she sees.
Wodka, after an open in the semifinal match, put it all together as he shot 258 to Roger Bowker's 237. He's right there.
Well, it's a matter of can you get it going, and then can you keep it going? Wodka doing a great job. He gets to finish on his good lane, and that's because Mike Miller wanted to finish on lane 46. High flush for Wodka.
Strikes in the opening frame for both of these players.
7 for 7 on lane 45 for Wodka. Is it 8 for 8? It's a 10-pin.
Well, you like this area. Grand Prairie, you won a couple of titles in the late 70s, early 80s, didn't you?
It was a long time ago, wasn't it?
Very hospitable in this part of the country.
Good to be back in Dallas. Wodka 2 for 3 on 10 pins today. Mike Miller won 16 of his last 17 matches in match play. They bowled 24 games, head-to-head match play. His record, 20 wins, 3 losses, 1 tie. All he wants is just 1 more win. Strike here, we go a long way to getting him there.
Smooth Mike Miller. Brings it back.
Well, you know, he wants to emote, but he knows it's early. Keep your composure right now. Great look at the style of Mike Miller. Very strong release without a lot of effort, and that is done by just palming the ball. It's something I don't suggest for the average player to try, or even the pro to try. Mike developed this a few years ago, decided to reinvent his game, and he's done one heck of a job with it.
Beautiful three-bagger for Mike Miller, who said that he's changed things a little bit. He's really devoted a lot of time to family and to his religion, and so the constant pressure is not there, but the enthusiasm is there.
Well, strikes like that will keep you enthusiastic. Wodka trailing by 20 pins. Doesn't want to lose touch with Mike Miller. 2 shots thrown, 2 good deliveries. Now it's 3 for 3, but there was that 10-pin in between to stop the string. It's still a 20-pin deficit.
Wodka up in the fourth. His mother, Kathy, a lady pro at one time.
Keep it right there, David. You'll do well.
Fourth frame. Wodka down 20.
Look out. Oh, it held on. Dave Wodka, really a good-looking young professional. Nice backswing, very solid. Look at the balance at the line, Phil. That's what I really like in this youngster. And he likes that strike.
You talk about balance. Mike was saying he's really worked on his game. He's got to keep in shape because he says he's so powerful, the lower part of his body for Mike Miller.
Is it 4 in a row? It's the 2 and the 8, and there's a slight little chink in the armor from Mike Miller. Ball's simply going to come in light, won't get up to the pocket. It's the head pin. The head pin goes around the 2 pin, leaving the 2 and the 8.
Difficult spare.
Very difficult spare. Must see if he is going to go with the no thumb. He can do both ways, whether no thumb or with the thumb. He's going to hook it into the 2-8. Will it get there? It does. A nice spare, not an easy one. Only an 8-pin lead for Mike Miller.
A couple of PBA titles for Mike Miller.
You can see the thumb is not in the ball. It's palmed, cupped. He's throwing with a lot of power.
I can do that with an 8-pound ball. Yeah, I mean, that's tough to do.
It is tough to do. Miller hasn't won since the '92 Wichita Open, and that's today. There's the 7-pin. The 10-pin gets knocked out in the half pocket hit, but the 7-pin stands. You see that a lot with guys who hook the ball. He certainly is one of them. Watch the 10-pin. It'll get knocked out by the 6, but the 7-pin, it's just going to be left alone. Goes with the thumb in on that particular spare. Hard and straight.
Got a good game going here in the title match.
Well, Wodka was down early against Bowker last match. He finds himself in the same situation this match. Miller through the front 3. Wodka didn't double till the 3rd and 4th frame. Then Mike sort of waited a couple frames. This to take the lead. Boy, what a confident-looking player right now.
3 in a row for Wodka. Last year, made a couple of shows. 3rd and a 4th place finish.
Well, Phil, a lot of confidence today. Look, he's very nonchalant about that particular shot, and that's his first lead in the championship match. He's up by 3 pins. This to take it to a 13-pin advantage and really put a lot of pressure on Mike Miller.
Got it out.
And so fortunate, only leaving the 2-pin. The 2-pin was there, the 8-pin was there, and the 10-pin was there. 10 and the 8 fell late. He's very pleased just to be looking at a 2-pin. That was really a very poor shot on his side. Just did not get a clean release. Easy to make the 2-pin. Hangs on to a 2-pin lead. And Dave Wodka will be back to bowl against Mike Miller. Coming back to this championship match right after this. Phil, we've got one heck of a great bowling match here as we see Joe Schumacher. He is the president of Schumacher and Company, who promote the tournament along with Carter Lanes.
There's a beautiful look at that trophy. We got a dandy of a match, Marshall. 2 pins separate these 2 players.
And 2 players who could show a little bit of nerves coming down the stretch. You know, Dave Wodka's never won. It's been since 1992 since Mike Miller has. He came in light on this lane last time. That's going to get there. Solid 10. But back in the pocket. We'll take a look at the 6-pin. Second from the right. It's going to go right around the bottom. Actually touches the 10-pin ever so slightly, but not enough to knock it down. Those are the Brunswick Pro pins, 3 pounds, 10 ounces. He goes with the thumb in the ball, hard and straight, and no trouble making the 10-pin for Mike Miller. You know, the versatility of Mike Miller really, I think it lends for him to be even a better player than he's shown, because he can throw the ball straight when he needs to. He can bowl with his thumb in the ball and throw it hard and straight up the corner, or he can get inside without the thumb in the ball and hook the ball as much as anybody. So he really has the best of both worlds. The problem sometimes, Phil, is when to put the thumb in the ball and when to take the thumb out.
I think that'd be very difficult. Go back and forth. Mike Miller, another 10-pin.
Another solid 10. It's okay. He's kind of patting himself on the back. He said, well, you know, I made a good shot. Here we go again. All you can do is hit the pocket. And Jody Ann watching, very pretty lady who, well, she'd like to see all 10 of them fall over. Just a couple more times, please.
Able to pick up the spare, so Mike Miller trying to hang in there right now. Dave Wodka has a 4-pin advantage in this tight match.
And it really was the opportunity for Miller to put pressure on a man who's never won. He got up, made 2 great shots, solid 10, solid 10. Really gave Wodka a little bit of a reprieve. Wodka's found a little bit of what we call hold. His ball is a little left of his target, but there's enough oil in the middle of the lane to hold the ball back. That ball looked a little bit high. 7-pin, the last pin to fall over. Wodka 4 pins up. Great reaction. Chance to make it 14 pins with a strike here on lane 45 in the 8th frame.
You always look for that little bit of hold, don't you?
Well, you're looking for some kind of area, whether it's left of your target or right. Will that get there? Half 10. Got to the pocket. That was the lane he left the 2-pin on last time, Phil. And the 2-pin that he left was just, we'll just call it like I see it. It was a bad shot. That was a very, very good delivery, but the carry wasn't quite there. It's still a 4-pin match with the conversion.
6 it up. Mike Miller down by 4, and he is up in the 8th frame. We've had a lot of strikes, and now guys having to make the spares.
Now, Miller with a slight advantage, even though he's 4 pins down. He can shoot 245. Wodka, the best he can do is 239. But he needs a strike here. That's the start. Now, if he can strike on the left-hand lane, Wodka will not be able to shut him out.
Miller's last show, the Brunswick World Tournament of Champions in Overland Park, Kansas. He finished 4th. He's won a couple of titles.
On that telecast, Phil, he really didn't have much of a shot to the pocket. Today, he does have a good shot. This is opportunity to hold it in his own hand. With that strike right there, Wodka can't shut him out. Very happy Jody Ann, and his son Chris jumped out of his chair when he struck on that ball. There he is. There's a good smile from the youngster. All right, Dad. Let's take a look at a very demonstrative reaction from Miller. Oh, yeah.
Wodka answers in the 9th with a strike.
Boy, these last 2 matches have been great, Phil. Just exceptional. Wodka down by 6 pins. Chance to change that to a 4-pin lead with a strike in the 10th frame. Once again, all Wodka can do is shoot 239. Miller with a possible 245.
Ken Wodka came up last match through 3 in a row, and Bowker couldn't match it.
Well, he's shown that he can strike under the gun. He did it last game. Will he do it here?
Oh, yeah. Kicks out that 10-pin.
Not much reaction from Mike Miller. He knows how that power ball works. He throws one and a great shot. A great shot from Dave Wodka. Watch the head pin. The late messenger. Little reaction. You know there's going to be one.
One of elation.
And one of just, oh well, I still can't be shut out. From 4 pins to 14. Will it be? And that, oh my gosh. Now there's a shot that he would love to have back, because not only does he not get the 14-pin lead, But with the bad count, as Mike Miller looks over the scoreboard, Mike Miller may not even have to strike on his first shot in the 10th frame. Very important for Wodka to get all 4 of these, and he needed to at least get 3 of those.
Now Mike Miller can win it with 9 spare strike.
You're absolutely right, Phil. But I know Mike Miller wants to strike and just be done with it. Don't leave yourself anything you have to make, and don't force you to have any pressure in the second ball in the 10th. 9 spare strike to win. The strike on this shot, and he wins. Was that slow off his hand?
Got it.
It was, but it strikes. He needs 5 pins, Phil. Very, very happy. Mike Miller. 5 pins on this ball. It's all over. And that first ball, he goes hard and straight. That's experience. That's enough.
Mike Miller captures his 3rd PBA title.
And a happy family. Well,